And I think, let's see. I think we're live. I don't know. The problem with doing this weird shit online is
you don't know if it's live or not.
No, and that's what's kind of frightening is you're like, are people watching me or not? I think it's live. We're going to know for sure when it comes up on this screen. There's a little bit of a delay. We're like two fucking hillbillies. I wonder if it's live. Oh, shit. There it is. We're live.
It's a little bit delayed because like I already drank that beer a second ago.
I wanted you to hear this. It's been a while.
I
think you'd be proud of it.
Beautiful Orpheum Theater. March 8th in sunny Los Angeles, California. California.
You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For
When
real.
did you do this?
Combat Jiu-Jitsu Worlds 2020.
What's that?
The
When did you-
featherweights.
when did
Who
you
will
do
win?
that?
I don't know. Slap like a bitch. I hope so. Featuring elite athletes, nachos, chips, drinks, the legendary Imanari, snacks. Hey, there's pizza next door. Buy tickets to watch this event live. Go to Instagram, Combat JJ Worlds, to stay up to date with all the latest changes at the Combat Jiu-Jitsu Worlds 2020.
So how long have you been running this commercial?
Share it with your friends. Go to Instagram, Combat JJ Worlds.
About a month.
Watch it in the convenience of your
type of feedback
own
have you gotten on
home.
this?
Oh, yeah? Drink beer, watch fights. It's all good. Go to Instagram, Combat JJ
And what's been the
Worlds.
overall feedback? Have you gotten any on this?
It's just like, I don't know, man.
I mean, what? Like, have you gotten a message or like that was funny or that was dumb or I hated it or that was fucking weird?
my students like it.
Well, okay, that's what they said. So the students like
That's
it.
good.
I think it's cool, but I also think it's kind of. I'm also thinking.
You want to hear the next
I'm
one?
thinking this is a little fucking bizarre too at the same time.
Listen.
Like, there's a real bizarro-ness to this.
Listen.
Are you tired of getting sand kicked on your face? Tired of getting punked around by a homeless man? Tired of getting punked around? Tired of getting punked around by bums? Tired of being a victim? Do you like being a victim? Don't be a victim. Tired of being a wimpy blubber man? Oh, you're such a wimpy blubber man, aren't you? Get that sand out of my face. Inside BJJ Academy, home to 10th Planet Stockton and Inside BJJ Academy Gi Jiu-Jitsu School. We specialize in self-defense, submission, grappling, wrestling, Gi Jiu-Jitsu, even judo. The world-famous Inside BJJ Academy. Ah, man.
God damn it.
Inside BJJ Academy, home to 10th Planet Stockton.
You see what happens?
You're definitely like when you did these particular commercials, you were feeling pretty good when you did them, right? Like
I was feeling very
you're
creative.
feeling very creative, right?
Very creative.
You're in a very, very creative state of mind.
I would say high-level creativity.
I could definitely hear that there's a lot of creativity
A
and
lot of creativity.
creativity being influenced in those. Like it reaches a point when there's a point where I'm like, is this good or is this not? And then I realize, man, this is really funny the way he's tying it all in with each other.
But some people hear it and they think it's insulting. They think that I'm like insulting.
Well, you sound
people.
like a dick. You kind of sound like a dick through most of it. Like you're like this real fucking asshole talking shit about everybody.
It's kind of like, you know, when you watch a local commercial.
Yeah, it's got a very old feel to it too.
Yeah.
Like the music is really like.
I'm really going, my favorite commercial of all time that I've actually popped in at the end of a bunch of Inside BJJ episodes we've done, but nobody knows. I just did it secretly. Is a Tom Labree's Late Night Comfort Theater commercial from YouTube. It's so
How many
fucking
people
good.
even know that era and time frame on TV?
I don't even care.
It's so funny though. If you watch TV in like the 80s? No, late 80s.
Yeah.
and you watched like late night TV, that was a reoccurring TV show, right? Or, they had a reoccurring movie late at night, though.
They had a movie of the night, and it was called the Tom Labree's Late Night
Super late
Comfort Theater.
So you had to be basically kind of like a.
It was so late.
Jack off.
You needed to be comforted.
So late. If you were up so late and you were still watching the movie, you were a complete jerk off. Because you're talking, it was like a regular night of the week. So you'd be like, it was a 1 o'clock in the morning late night movie that would come on the late night Labree's Comfort
You remember
Theater.
back then, if you stayed up late then, you were a jerk. Yeah, people thought you were
Why
a big...
would you stay up that late just to watch a fucking...
You're a big loser, jerk off, if you stayed up that late, right?
Yeah. Well, that was before the coronavirus.
Well, we should get some Coronas. You want me to go grab a couple Coronas?
Go grab a couple of Coronas.
Okay.
As he goes to grab a couple of the Coronas, I'm going to fucking go through his house and steal shit. I know this motherfucker's rich. Don't call this guy a millionaire for nothing. He's probably too smart for that. He doesn't have nothing valuable back here. I was talking about how I was going to rob you while you were gone, so I know you're rich. But I was like, you're too smart for that. You wouldn't have nothing worth anything back here.
All my money's in the Bahamas.
Mine's in Bitcoin.
All my money's in China right now.
This Bitcoin.
All my money's in the Wuhan province. I was recently in the Wuhan province. If you're from the Wuhan province, you feel tougher than Nick Diaz at this point, right? Wow. I mean, you're like, fuck you, motherfucker. Yeah, I'm from Wuhan.
What?
Would you fuck with someone from Wuhan?
No.
Wuhan.
No.
Yeah, Wuhan clings nothing to fuck with.
I don't know, though. I am from Stockton, motherfucker, so maybe I would.
So this is what I'm trying to explain to people. How nervous does it make you to be in Stockton when some shit like this pops off?
I think everybody's a little nervous, though. Even, like, the bad people are like, whoa. Like,
yeah.
This shit's no joke. Like,
bad people are afraid of regular people in a weird way, huh?
They're like, the bad people are on edge, too. Maybe they're trying to, like, be good.
You know what it's like when you're a bad person and shit's normal, you're kind of like get to be you're the bad guy.
Yeah.
So like no one's badder than you, but then when like shit pops off, then everybody's the bad guy. Then you're kind of like, fuck, I'm used to being the bad guy.
People trying to there's like an oh fuck moment because like for the longest time my mother is very aware of any flu, pandemic, any bird flu, any virus, anything where people are getting sick from. She's very aware of it. She's always letting me know about it and telling me the symptoms and the signs. And she's telling me to watch and I've been hearing this I've been hearing this shit for like 10 fucking years from my mom about this flu, if she has runny eyes, if she has this, is she eating this?
This is the end of the world.
And I'm like, God damn, I'm tired of hearing about it. So my mom was like hitting me up with this coronavirus shit. And I'm like, okay, Mom, oh my God, here we go again. And then so I'm always ribbing people. I'm always ribbing my mom. So she was asking me about corona because Lucas was like, didn't feel good. And I said, I don't know, but some kid in his class took a vacation and he went to China.
You told your mom this?
I told my mom that. And she was like, so I was so tired of her driving me crazy about fucking all this shit for all these years. And I was so sick of hearing about it. Damn it. So I'm like, yeah, man. She's like, so then she's like, are you joking? I'm like, no. And she's like, so paranoid that she wants to believe me, but she's so skeptical. So I'm always ribbing motherfuckers.
Fucktard.
As soon as she believes, I tell her. So anyways, I get her to bite and I start like making this whole thing more and more ridiculous. And I said something about Lucas having a fever and like,
oh, Matt.
And then I told that he was like acting like a zombie. So it's like
his eyes are rolling back.
I said he's acting like a zombie. His eyes are rolling back of his head. She's like kind of almost taking me serious even when I said that. And I'm like, he's saying that he's something like he wants brains or something.
He wants brains.
And she got all mad. She knew that I was fucking ribbing her.
Yeah, because you got to keep taking it up.
So I'm like, yeah. And then so this other guy I was talking to about this shit a little while ago after that, and he was explaining to me what he thought might happen, and I was like, oh yeah, blah 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 blah, and I even gave him the hand signal where you go blah 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 blah.
Some guy at your job?
No, not somebody, and then what he described is exactly what's happening right now. And I'm like, man, I was blah 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 on this motherfucker.
So somebody said something to you earlier, just a few minutes ago. You were on the phone with someone, and they said something, and they said something that I had also been thinking, and it's this: it feels like every single Illuminati thing I've ever read happening at the same time. Right?
Yeah.
It's so fucking crazy. It's almost unbelievable.
If you've read any conspiracy theory book ever in your fucking life, like you're like, holy shit, this is what they talked about. Where
I am
martial
not
laws,
kidding.
curfews.
You know what I did today? I thought, I wonder what David Icke has to say about
what
this.
is he? Did you read? What is he saying?
Yeah, it's
Is
global
lizard shit?
takeover. Yeah.
You talking about lizards though, or
Well, okay, so there's
Or is
this
he off that?
check this, man. Check this. This is wild. There's this theory that what's happening is Ezekiel's wheel is approaching us in space, and they're fucking freaked out, and they don't want anyone to see it, so they want us all inside. And so they're trying to get
what the fuck is Ezekiel? This is the David.
Okay,
Icke
you know the wheel in the middle of the wheel. This Ezekiel's vision,
in the Bible.
that
his
it's a
vision.
spaceship.
It's a spaceship. Okay.
Now some
the
conspiracy people are
The
saying
spaceship's coming back.
some conspiracy people are saying it's God.
Oh, it's
He's coming in the wheel in the middle of the wheel. Like he can't just be here immediately.
yeah. No,
No,
he's got to be in the wheel. In the middle of
He's
the wheel.
fucking constricted by however fast this
Yeah,
goddamn
God.
space chariot
Yeah,
goes.
the master of the universe. that
God damn it, Jesus, we're out of gas.
created all time, space, dimensions. Well, you can't come back unless he's in this wheel in the middle of a fucking wheel. That's only going to happen so once every so many thousand fucking years.
But so then they show this.
God's coming back as a wheel in the
They
sky.
show this very bizarre diagram, and it has this little thing on it that
It's a
they say
wheel.
is the wheel, and they show it moving, and they act like it's a radar signal of it.
Yeah.
And then it shows like Earth, but they labeled Earth Terra, like terra firma, you know. They got to go like all Genesis on you, like Book of Genesis. We're real fucking serious. We're getting biblical. Yeah, I don't know. That was the crazy one I read. Who knows, man? Dude, I don't know, but it's...
Well, I didn't take
it's-
none of it serious at all whatsoever. I thought this was all a big fucking joke. I mocked everybody that talked about this until Monday. Saturday night, I was having a grand time at one of my favorite fucking karaoke bars, having a ball with no cares in the fucking world. And then Monday, I'm going to the grocery motherfucking store, and there's no fucking bread in the fucking bread aisle. And there's no fucking toilet paper. And I'm like, holy shit. All these people were right. And it's too fucking late. And I wigged out a little bit in that grocery store. I went to 2 or 3 grocery stores, and there was hardly any fucking food. And I'm like, holy shit, there's no fucking food on these goddamn shelves. What the fuck am I going to do? I fucking didn't take this shit serious. And now it's Armageddon.
Well, last week I told you we got 10 days, motherfucker. Remember when I told you that?
Yeah, I was like, oh, blah, blah,
Well, you
blah.
thought, oh, he's
yeah,
crazy.
you said, yeah, we got 10 days. And this was, I'm like, shut up. This
Happened
thing is,
before
this is
10
nothing.
days, man.
This is what's kind of crazy. So, like, I thought about this too. How many people total have died? Right, 8,000?
16. No, I don't know.
I
No,
think it's around 8 or 9. I don't know exactly.
Let me look it up. Hold on. Let me ask the computer.
But it's like that.
The government manipulation machine will tell us.
What does Google say?
How many?
Siri, how many people have died of the coronavirus?
Oh, ask Siri. She'll probably tell you. Coronavirus update. Well, we got 245,000 cases.
10,000 deaths now. So that number is fucking rising.
Look at the graph, brother. That's what people are afraid of, man.
So how many people total are infected?
245,000.
245,000 people.
There's
on
8
the
billion
earth.
motherfucking people, man.
On the earth. But this started like, when did this start though? That's 245,000 people like in a short amount of time, right?
I read that Italy surpassed China in the death
they
toll.
did.
That's wild, man.
3,000 deaths. Okay, but 3,000.
That's in China.
Look, wait, just stop for a minute. Now, I just want everyone to listen to this right now. This is what I'm about to say. And I've been thinking about this shit. Okay, 80,000 people infected. Horrible. 3,000 deaths. Bad. 71,000 motherfuckers recovered? It's pretty fucking good right there if you ask me, for motherfuckers flipping the fuck out like the end of the world is near.
Larry. Yeah, no, I know. I don't know.
I mean, that's a pretty... That's not the end of the world.
Is that what you're afraid of, or is it
Yes.
the layoffs that you're afraid of?
No, I'm afraid of two things.
The economy.
I'm afraid of society collapsing.
Collapse.
And then originally I was afraid of this virus, and I kind of am to a certain extent, but
I'm going to tell
most
you.
Most motherfuckers recover, less motherfuckers die that get the virus.
Let's take a pause, because I'm going to tell you what I'm really upset about is killer bees. You remember when they said the killer bees were coming?
And they never did.
And they never fucking
just
came.
Like the killer bees.
Well, that's what I felt like. You know,
like this is another killer bee.
How many threats have we lived under?
Many threats. Killer bees, Russia, Al Qaeda,
nuclear war,
global warming, ozone layer, tsunamis, which. Fuck, man, the list goes on. War, famine, running out of food, running out of oil, running out of water.
We're going to destroy the earth.
Disease, famine, food. We're going to run out of food.
H1N1.
The fucking, that corn that they're making is going to take over. Is going to
Modified corn. AIDS.
Corn is going to ruin
you
the world.
remember AIDS?
Everyone's going to catch AIDS. It's going to go fucking.
Let's talk AIDS. How fucking scared were you of AIDS?
Well, I was scared when Magic got it. That's when I got scared. My mom, again, my mom's always scared of stuff, always telling me about
how
fucking
bad crazy
I already knew
about AIDS.
Yeah, my mom was crazy about AIDS, but I thought, my mom's fucking nuts.
They said if someone with AIDS touches the wall and you touch the wall,
you can catch it.
You got AIDS.
Don't drink the drinking fountain.
What?
Did you ever hear this? Don't drink from water fountains in San Francisco.
Yes, I did.
I heard that from several adults when I was a kid.
When I spent the night at your house, your mom grilled me to make sure that you and I wouldn't share a razor. Like we were going to pass AIDS. Yeah. Hey, guess what, man? We passed AIDS to each other.
Well, sometimes she's always been like, every fucking thing is always going to be the end of the world. So
they read that book that was written by a surgeon.
Of the world. And then she's finally right, though, is the thing. It's like all these motherfuckers that always say it's the end of the world, that they're happy right now.
Yeah. How happy are the preppers?
Oh, they're so thrilled.
The preppers are like, I told you so.
They're so thrilled. They're ready. They're ready for this shit. This ain't nothing to the preppers. The people that got the people that have a lot of shit stored up are going to be good. And why are we flipping out here like this?
Know.
Why is this, which taking all of our society, everything we know, our entire economy, our whole Wall Street, and wiping it out to nothing? 3,000 deaths, 71,000 recoveries. How does that take everything and turn it upside down?
I don't know.
Doesn't make any sense.
It's weird. Let's look. Well, I don't even want to do it. This has been done 1,000 times. It doesn't matter at this point. The problem now is that California's on lockdown.
I feel like I could beat. And then you say that, well,
how many
old people can do this? But I think I almost feel like, this is what I feel like, to be honest with you. There's a part of me that says this, and it's kind of crazy, but to me, it makes a little bit of sense. Just give me this motherfucking thing now.
Get it over with.
Get it now. Like, look, I see 71,000 people have recovered. I'm fucking healthy right now. I feel good. I'm strong. I'm in pretty good. Give it to me now, and I'll fucking recover, and I'll build the immunity to it now.
You'll be one of the immunity builders.
Well, I think that the way I think these things work is people eventually get immune to it. Eventually.
I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure that's what happens.
In my limited medical training, I'm pretty sure.
I think if you beat these things, they get weaker. If more, I think the second time around, or the next year,
or do they get stronger?
I don't know. I don't know. I think they eventually turn into the next level later.
So they do get stronger.
I think in time
they go away for a while.
No, like this particular strand gets shot down, but then another one comes.
It's like coronavirus has been working out since H1N1. Like coronavirus has been training. It's been
plotting and studying. It came up with a pretty big gimmick.
It's been like in real trim. How important is it to have a gimmick? No, let's talk gimmicks. How important is it to have a gimmick? In your opinion,
first of all, it has a name like nobody could forget, like Corona. Like that just sticks in everybody's brain.
How important is it a name that we've already heard before?
I mean, I like the name Corona. Like,
isn't that much more well traveled than H1N1? Corona, are you afraid of anything that has like H1N1?
Oh, yeah, well, kinda. It's always bad shit.
SARS sounded scary. SARS.
Ebola.
No, Ebola was scary because people bled a lot.
I was told that if you got Ebola, you would bleed out your eyeballs and your mouth and your nose.
And your pee hole.
And you're just fucking, oh my, that's a pretty fucked up way to go.
That's about as scary as it gets for an American.
I think I want to end it. I think I would want to end that shit before I got to the bleeding out of the eyeballs to
Well,
death.
do you remember when they were talking about like, oh, they had all these hazmat suits on. It's so contagious, and you got to be really careful, and everyone's going to get Ebola and Ebola and Ebola. West Nile, the problem is
that's another one. That was
all these things came and went.
People got tired of hearing about them,
and I just don't know, man.
I think this is going to come and go too, but it's going to have more of an impact than all the other shit had. It's going to kill more people than the rest of the shit had, but ultimately, most people are going to recover. A certain amount are going to die. Quarantine will probably slow this thing down. These quarantines will slow this shit down. Less people gathering is definitely going to have an impact on it. I think they're going to slow down the curve. They'll eventually. I'm like a scientist. I'm using bro science. All my bro science tells me they'll come up with a vaccine, probably.
But listen, you have a PhD in bro science.
Yeah, I
right?
do actually.
You're really good at bro science, man.
I mean, I knew. Yeah, I've known some scientists that knew how to make some shit in my life.
I've actually called you and asked, like, hey man, what should I do about this?
Just look at the first wave, right? Just look at this number. I'm a betting man. Like I will make a wager. I will take a fucking risk, right? That number, 80,000 infected, and you have 70-something thousand that recovered. Those are good chances you recover. If you're a regular...
I know, but what if you pass it to an elderly?
That sucks. But fuck, man. I'm not... it's not my... That's just the way it goes.
Not your problem?
I don't want to say it's not my problem,
Wow.
No,
not your problem.
It's nature taking people out, and we're trying our best, to...
What if it was someone you loved?
It would suck. Really, it would. But, I'm just saying that most people are... Elderly will die.
Do you think maybe something else?
Sick people will die, and it sucks.
Why are so
It's not the end of humanity.
Why are so many people all over the world involved in this? Why are
That's what's
so
weird. It's so weird. It's crazy.
If it was just America, I would say this is just fucking politics. This is left versus right. It's orange man bad.
Well, Trump and Fox News was laughing at this shit too.
It's no big deal, right?
And now everyone's like, this is the threat to humanity. We have to do this. But a week and a half ago, Sean Hannity was laughing at this shit, calling it the fucking flu. And now he's like, this is, a threat, to our country. So Fox News flipped, Donald Trump flipped on this. Donald Trump was saying this was
okay, but just because they're saying it doesn't mean it's it, or doesn't mean they've realized the narrative is better if we flip it to this, and this is how we're going to play.
I have no fucking idea. I think maybe it was.
And you know who's the fucking blame?
It was worse than what he thought.
I'll tell you who's the blame.
I think they're just like me. They're like, all these people are like, fuck all these things, blah, 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 blah. It's probably going to be another guy. There's, the flu is worse than this, and other things have been worse than this, and it's not a big deal. It's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah, but you know who I blame? I blame the motherfucking media. And I'll tell you why.
They've
been so fucking busy with all their bullshit that you don't know what to believe on any side, on any channel, for anything.
Still, even with this shit, you don't know.
Now there could be a life-threatening disease, and nobody knows if it's real or
they're
not.
all going to... You're going to have left-wing propaganda, right-wing propaganda.
You don't trust anyone.
They're going to disagree with each other.
You don't even trust the mayor in your town. You used to trust the mayor. You don't even trust the mayor.
Don't trust anybody.
You don't trust anybody. You don't even trust yourself.
Nope.
It's crazy.
I thought about this. They make you the mayor, and somebody comes up to you and they tell you, we'll give you $15 million if you help us pass something that's maybe not for the best interest of the city, but it's going to be for the best interest of you.
Okay.
How do you know what I'm saying? Most people will get corrupted by millions of fucking dollars. Mm-hmm. So then it stands logical to think that, most people have been then corrupted.
And let me ask you this. $15 million to someone like you or me who grew up in Stockton.
It's a lot of fucking money.
That's a lot of bread. $15 million to a billionaire. How much money is that?
It's not that much money.
It's like nothing.
It's fucking nothing.
You wouldn't even. It's like 15 cents to you. You wouldn't even miss it.
It's like a fucking kilo of Coke when you have 100,000 kilos.
You wouldn't even know if someone stole $15 million.
I know.
You'd be like, "What? Oh, I did what? Oh, okay." It'd be like losing a $20 bill.
It's nothing. Yeah,
nothing.
It would be maybe like a $5 bill.
Okay,
you're a fucking billionaire.
Maybe it'd be like losing $100. You'd be like, I'm fucking kind of irritated, but whatever.
You'll survive.
Right.
It's not really going to impact your life one fucking iota.
Yeah. Well, it's scary because Gavin Newsom issued the lockdown, stay home.
What does that mean? And then where does this go? Like
he said, we are going to use goodwill, people's goodwill to help each other, and social pressure to enforce it. Which means rat on your neighbor and shame them if they're not isolating.
I mean, isolating means you do not leave your house for anything.
You can go to the grocery store, you can go to the pharmacy, you can go like pick up food, just only essential like important things. You can walk your dog, you can go for a walk, but while you are out, you're supposed to stay at least 6 feet away from people.
Yeah,
dude, I went to Lodi today. I went out today, and we were all standing around talking, and people were like kind of looking around like, yeah, this is kind of weird. And it kind of feels edgy, but like, I don't got it. Do you got it? I'm good. And then they go like, and they go like, well, you can go for 2 weeks and have it and not know it. And so I'm going, well, 2 weeks ago I felt good too. You know what I'm saying? I took my temperature like 4 times though, man, just because I was like, you know what I mean?
You're so you are home a lot more now, right? Because you're not doing the school.
No, I had to close my school down.
So you probably have way more time to think about taking your temperature and shit.
Man, if I don't stay busy, I go real sideways on it. So I'm forcing myself to stay busy. I'm doing kids programs. I'm doing puppet shows.
Yeah, I've seen some of those puppet shows. I felt like it was more for you than the kids.
I would say it's mostly for me, a little bit for the kids. I told Stella this. I said, look, if we're going to do kids jiu-jitsu on the internet, then like kids like weird, dumb, weird shit.
They certainly do.
You remember what it was when you were a kid and like you'd see a bunch of regular people, then one guy would be wearing sunglasses or one guy would have a weird hat or one guy you would be attracted to that.
One thing gets your attention.
So then every time, like the first show I did, when I came in off of a bike ride and I had a helmet on and I took my helmet off and I had a hat and I took my hat off and I had another hat and I took that hat off and I had a do-rag and I took my do-rag off and I had a yarmulke. So like the kids love that kind of stuff though. You know what I'm saying? Like just different.
The kids are digging it, right? That's what I've heard.
I guess, yeah, they seem to be. I think what it is the kids are fucking at home all day, man.
They don't got shit to do, and you're like on TV doing some jiu-jitsu exercise shit,
man,
but you're acting like a crazy fool at the same time.
I am the best you got. It ain't Mr. Rogers, but it's the best you got right now.
And we're both here doing the podcast Corona free.
I'm Corona free. I'm really missing jiu-jitsu though, man, in a big way. Like you kind of forget how much you need to train.
The gym, like I was going to the gym all the time, and so I got to where like you just don't even feel normal if I'm not doing some sort of workout, and then when you can't do it at all.
I have kettlebells. I never swing them.
I gotta start coming up with some home workout shit because I've been so used to just moving
you don't strike
heavy
me
weights.
as the kind of guy that does body weight workouts.
No, but what you get to where you got no other choice. Like if I'm not moving like a lot of weight, I just don't even want to work out.
You know who I wish was alive right now is Mike Menser.
What would Mike do?
I would fucking for sure. I would pay to talk to him right now.
I don't know what he would probably. Mike was an objectivist, and he always would usually side with the experts on things.
Yeah, he usually would.
Or the scientists and the people who were considered.
So what do you? Okay, so
let
me ask you this then. So like this fucking Randall Parsons and Graham Hancock, Chariots of the Gods,
Yeah, those guys.
Okay, well, I just read it.
The one guy's a complete shyster, though.
Well, I just read an article about how
he wrote.
No. Some scientist. There's some level of confirmation about this idea that the world had a cataclysmic event 12,800 years ago.
Okay,
or somewhere around there.
Okay, all right.
I forgot why I was going with that, man. Totally spaced on that one, bro.
Who knows, man? We could be like towards the end of things, so you may as well have a couple of brewskis and
I think so.
Say, what the fuck ever.
Well, nobody knows what's going to happen. You have to look. I tell myself this: you have to ask yourself, where is the opportunity in this? You do.
You could probably right now. You
Look.
could probably really trick some elderly people into giving you a bunch of money.
What
So
else?
just-
Oh my God! Why not? No, I mean, but
What you need is coronavirus insurance.
you have to. We should start calling people. You
You
have
called
to
1,000 people right now. We had some coronavirus. We had a coronavirus insurance program.
I tell you what,
We'd sell some of it.
if this would have happened when we were kids, we for sure would have been calling people on the phone right
We'd
now.
been making prank phone calls.
100%. What would a
You're a horrible. When it came to prank phone calls,
oh
we
my
were
God,
the worst children in the
we were
world.
ruthless with people. I mean, we would wait till 3 a.m. to make the calls, dude. We would wake people up.
People were so dumb back then. Like we would just get the yellow pages and the white pages, and we would look for a number and have somebody's first and last name and address and call them. And somehow they would think because we knew their first, last name and address that
You remember?
we were legit. I remember calling like it was like Jane and like so and so.
You would have you go, are you so and so with this
And they would
address?
say,
Yes.
So I remember I called. It's like it's probably the worst. One of my worst pranks that I played. That I called somebody. Jane and John, and I'm talking to Jane, and I'm like, I pose. It's one of John's doctors. I give their address, and I'm like, is there any way that you could come in right now? And she's like, well, I can't leave this right this second. I go, I really well. I then I'm gonna have to give you some information over the phone because I really
And I don't want to tell you.
I have to leave. Like I have an important place I have to be, and I can't wait past this. So I could talk to you about John right now, or I could tell you over the phone. Right? And then so
I can tell you right now.
so they want to know right now. They almost don't even want to agree to come into my fake office.
You're 14.
I'm 14 and I'm pretending to be a doctor, and I get the yellow pages or the white pages where it had people's names and addresses, and I'm like, John Anderson, Janet Anderson, is the wife of John Anderson? Yes, it is. Do you guys live at 1117 Crescent Avenue? Yes, we do. Lodi, California? Yes, it is. Well, I'm one of John's doctors. I've been working with him on this matter, and I really would like for you to come into our, we really would. I need to talk to you if I can. Could you come in right now, right now? And then she couldn't. I was banking on the fact that she wouldn't be able to just stop right now.
Right.
And I'm like, well, because I have to, I really have to leave right now. I can't even. I got less than 5 minutes. I have an important place I got to go that I cannot miss, that I cannot be late for. So if you can't talk to me right now, I would like to be able to just at least speak to you over the phone. And so this particular prank phone call I played on more than one person, but usually they would agree to this conversation. They'd be convinced that I was a doctor because I had certain information, and I'm like, well, okay, so I want you right now, just sit down for a moment. I got some news I got to tell you.
Sit down.
John has tested positive for HIV, which is the virus that causes AIDS.
The virus that causes AIDS.
So
hey, wait a minute. Do you really need to put that at the end of HIV? Does anyone
I
not
felt
know that?
Well, I'm trying to sell as a kid that I'm a doctor. I really got to sound professional. So I'm like, the virus that causes AIDS. And
HIV.
then and usually on all those phony phone calls that we were doing, I think we even recorded these somewhere.
I wish I had those
in that
tapes.
particular phony phone call that I would run. Most phone calls there'd be a moment where they would pause and they would almost take you serious for a second, for 1 second.
Yeah, sure.
Then they would start questioning,
It's like
they would start questioning who you are and so on. And then eventually it'd break down to well, the reason why we know that you have AIDS is because your husband's been fucking other dudes or something like that. And then
even then that I don't remember Jerky Boys being around then. Not till we were a little bit older.
yeah, but when they came out, it really inspired us to do a lot.
We really we were like, wow, there's other people that are really doing this.
Man, there's almost nothing better than a real good prank phone call where you really can get someone to bite on it. Or any sort of prank where
It's so
somebody's
good.
bite, any sort of rib or prank
phone calls are the
prank
best,
phone call
though.
or something where somebody's really starting to believe it and you're getting just ridiculous.
There's something about, for me, the psychology of someone's in their house, they're in the middle of something, and then the phone rings. And it's like a complete interruption into their life, dude. Right. And it's you fucking with them.
utter bullshit.
It's like you have this ability to just jump into some random motherfucker's life for a few minutes and fuck with them and then jump
For
back
no
out.
apparent fucking reason. But it's the funniest shit in the world.
I got some kind of fucked up pleasure out of it, man.
Or listen, or even just like on the phone, if you could like these different radio stations that do phony phone calls. If you ever like hear one that's funny and you can't,
Do you
stop.
want another one?
Yeah.
I'll be right back. Keep talking. I got to whiz real bad.
So like, I was thinking about like if I was gonna steal some shit when he's gone, like, you know, this being Corona season and all, and this guy's got like, my reasoning is he's so fucking rich that if I swiped a couple things, you wouldn't notice. There's just like a couple of mats there, like, but he's too smart to leave anything with any real value to it, like the jewels or the fucking all the riches and wealth, the safe, the millions of dollars that he has. I'm dying for another Corona though. It's like, what else are you supposed to drink this? I just can't think of another fitting brew that's more for the occasion right now than a fucking Corona. And it's like, if you don't like Corona, first of all, there's got to be something a little bit crazy about you. And it's a fitting topic right now, the coronavirus. So why not drink as many Coronas as you can and to discuss the matter? I really fucking think, though, that when you just look at when I look at those two fucking numbers, unless that number is completely fucking wrong and there are just way more deaths than that number's off, but when I look at 77,000 motherfucking recoveries, 3,000 deaths, I'm like, yeah, man, the 3,000 deaths are pretty fucking bad, but that to me is not the statistic that shows me society is going to fucking end. I think the worst part, people are going to get sick and people are going to fucking die, and it's fucking, it's horrible.
Why are you talking so negative?
No, I'm not done. But most people are not going to, it's not going to be the end. We have all sorts of fucked up shit that we have to deal with, like diabetes, like fucking heart disease, like fucking, you know, millions of people die from all sorts of things, AIDS, cancer, and this is another thing that's going to affect people, and which is you know, we want to find a cure for it, but ultimately, this is not enough to end life as we fucking know it, nor is it enough it shouldn't be enough to change our society and bring it to its knees. But if, you know, we have a funky little Wall Street system where wealth seems to be fucking, you know, easily robbed. So other than that, this shouldn't fucking
none of
destroy
us.
your life.
Right. The problem is none of us know what the fuck we're talking about.
That fucking number right there. 70,000 recoveries. That's a fucking real number.
That's a number on the screen.
I mean, but who's talking about nobody's talking about all the recoveries right now.
I know.
The people, you know, like at first, Fox News would be like, well, you know, this is not worse than the swine flu or H1N1, and people die of all sorts of things, and all of a sudden they flip the script. But now you hear about infections and you hear about deaths. You hear nothing about fucking recoveries.
You're right. Have you, speaking of that, I bought some Kirkland, you're eating chips, chocolate brownie bars. Have you had one of these?
No, I haven't.
It's a protein bar. I brought you one. It's really delicious, man. So, I got a little bit bugged out last week, and I thought, man,
you were bugged out.
There's a weird vibe in the air, man. And so I went to Costco and bought some protein bars. And I thought, God damn, if we had that Champion protein plug that we had back in the early 2000s, how dope was that?
Well, is it Champion Nutrition?
Mm-hmm. How many pounds of protein did we get from them?
We had a friend that worked there.
How many pounds was a barrel? It had to be 25.
It was 100 pounds.
It was 100 pounds of protein?
50 pounds and 100 pounds.
How many did we go through? A few.
Eventually, you would get a whole barrel of protein. You would think, well, I can never run out, and you would let any. First of all your friends have a protein hookup, and
they would come by and get bags of protein.
You would take as much because it looked like infinite, but eventually that 50-pound barrel or 100-pound barrel would fucking be empty. Like, holy shit! I finally went through all of it.
I'm not kidding. I would drink 3 and 4 protein drinks a day just for nothing to do. I drink protein.
I just remember. I don't know if my taste buds changed over time with this artificial shit. But I remember really liking the way some of that shit tasted back then, and I really don't fucking like that much shit that's out now.
Nah, the fake sugar shit's different now. It seems like, right?
I don't know what it is. But I just don't really. I drink it and I could fucking tolerate it. I remember some of the shit I drank back then. I would actually kind of like it. Like even if I was fucking stoned, I'd be fucking making some sort of shake and drinking it. But now it's like it just. I don't know. It doesn't taste the same.
How unprofessional is it to eat protein bars during a podcast?
It doesn't matter anymore, right?
Well, look, man. We've been talking to microphones and recording ourselves since we were kids, so who cares? I really wish we had those recordings. There were some sessions in Ponce de Leon when we were kind of young. They were really funny, though, man.
Okay, yeah, that shit was kind of cool, but
because that's when we called all the people in the church. We called every church member in the middle of the night.
It was like the coronavirus is killing everybody, and these two fucking dudes are doing this podcast. They're getting drunk and talking about prank phone calls that they made when they were kids.
Well, the coronavirus wasn't killing everybody, man.
There were no viruses back then killing anybody.
Well,
I could remember.
They wouldn't even talk about it. What was a big scandal in the 80s?
A bunch of shit with Reagan, like
it was the Iran-Contra hearings.
Iran-Contra.
And then the...
like fucking, I think there was like nuclear weapons and Star Wars. In
1983, my parents said, Timmy, on Thursday night, we're going to Chuck E. Cheese and Tracy, and we're going to watch a movie. And I thought, what the hell? That's amazing. We played video games. We had fun at Chuck E. Cheese. And then all the adults said, kids, it's time to come sit down. The movie's going to start. You know what the movie was?
No.
It was the day after about America getting
the end of the world.
Nuclear bomb, dude. It scared the fucking shit out of me, man.
You know what's funny about that particular movie you're talking about? So it was a big church thing. They had all these church people go to watch, and there was the people that were.
We weren't allowed to watch movies.
No, but it was like the Book of Revelations and the end of the world, tribulations, and all the shit you would hear about. So you could, they want everyone to watch this shit. So I could not go that particular day. I had to go to my dad was not into all that shit, so I was with my dad. So I missed it, but I remember hearing about it. Hearing about it was more frightening, probably,
than seeing it.
The people that seen it.
Yeah, right.
Everybody was so freaked out about what the end of the world was going to be like.
Man, I remember there was a scene of somebody eating somebody else's arm. And it just it scared the crap out of me, dude, as a kid. Like, I was so freaked out, man. It worked. All that shit worked on me, man.
And what I want to ask you about, especially since you being a 10th planet, dude.
What?
What do you think of the possibility of Ferguson and Khabib getting this fight off somewhere?
The first thing I said, I am not lying. Why would I lie? God strike me dead if I'm lying. I turned to Stella and I said, you know what? I really hope this coronavirus doesn't fuck up Khabib Ferguson, because Ferguson he keeps getting butt fucked by the universe when it comes time to fight. Dana White is saying that they are going to do it, but the location is undisclosed right now.
Russia, maybe?
I think it's going to be in Russia.
There's no corona in Russia, right? Hardly any.
Well, it is there. You know what's crazy is Putin just got they're going to vote on some idea to reset his term limit back to 0 so he can be president again for another 16 years.
No way.
He's not going to extend the term limits.
Oh
He's just going to reset his back to 0.
That's so genius.
So he could start over again.
Wow.
He said that it's not a good time for Russia to change presidents, given all the instability in the West.
I wonder if it's like fucking gonna work.
Yes, it's gonna work. They're gonna do it. Why wouldn't you? If you were Russian, who are you gonna vote in office? I don't know.
Yeah, right?
Are you afraid of Russia at all anymore?
I don't really feel like I am for some reason.
I feel like Russia, after Rocky beat Drago, I'm not afraid, man.
You know, my attitude towards Russia changed twice in my life. Once was Rocky, and the other was Nikolai Volkov. He was always a hardcore Russian, you know, and he hated America. And then he switched sides, and like at the end of his career, he was like singing the national anthem. And so, like, it really Nikolai Volkov played a big part in my heart getting softened towards Russia.
He was from Texas, man. Right?
I knew all that, but when he started singing the national anthem, I really felt like Russians could change. And then Rocky, obviously, Rocky fought Ivan Drago. You know, and this movie was so good, it was almost like professional wrestling because it set me up for this fucking end, this fucking hook at the very, very end, this little swerve. So, like, I was not liking Russians. When first of all, Apollo Creed, he killed Apollo Creed. Ivan Drago killed one of the most charismatic characters in Rocky that everybody loved, and he killed Apollo Creed, Rocky's best friend, and the guy that made Rocky. And so he was using all this Russian training and this Russian technique and all these advanced
racism.
I was not a fan of At the beginning of Rocky, that movie, I was not a fan of Russians.
Did you kind of feel like Drago was cheating because he had so much technology?
I didn't like Drago. I didn't like Russians. I didn't like his fucking wife, and there was everything, like all the Russians. And so then Rocky takes the fight for free, and he's training, he's chopping wood, and like he's
out in the snow running with the
telling them that you should retire, and so then he goes in there, and I was really feeling USA versus Russia.
Yeah,
I was like, Rocky was the USA, and he's the underdog, and so Rocky starts beating him, and then finally Rocky wins, and I'm like, yeah, fuck you, Russia, and I'm all in this fuck you, Russia mode. But then he gets on the microphone, and when I first came here, yous didn't like me much, but I didn't like yous much done either. But over the course of this fight, something began to change. So what I'm trying to say is, if I can change, and you can change, everyone can change. And right then I knew that I didn't have to hate Russia anymore.
Wow, it worked.
It did work. He totally sold me on the idea that we could all change.
Was that Rocky 4?
It was Rocky 4. And it's almost a Rocky that is not as like mentioned as one of the greater Rocky movies.
What is your favorite Rocky movie?
I don't know, man. Probably 3, because Hulk Hogan was in it.
Hulk Hogan. You know why? So I remember watching that movie at Pete and Pauline's.
But 1 was really fucking good as far as like a really good movie.
Do you remember going to Modesto and watching that movie?
Yeah, I think so.
At someone's house or apartment or some weird place.
It was on, like, it once in a while that movie would come on regular TV.
Or
like,
HBO, maybe?
Yeah, it was way before VCRs and shit. So we ended up being at one of our relatives' house, and it just happened to be that
Where the fuck
night,
was that, dude?
I don't know, man.
That was the only time I got to back then, that was my only way to get to watch it. I never watched the first Rocky. So here's the movies that were really made impressions on us as kids. I'm going to name them and see if there's any more that I'm missing. Rocky, for sure, made a huge impression on us. Okay. I'm not even going to talk about WrestleMania, because we could talk all night about Mania. So, okay, Rocky, Grease was a big deal.
Yeah, it was.
Beat Street.
Yeah.
Beat Street, right? Am I right? Beat Street.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
I don't know about Star Wars, man.
Yeah, you got to throw Star Wars in there, and probably Colors.
Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
Maybe like the bottom.
I think Karate Kid, you have to have
Karate
Kid. Very had a big impact on everybody.
Karate Kid, yeah.
I remember feeling like if I breathed correctly, and if I did my hands the right way, that I can muster up enough fucking chi that I can smash anything.
I put myself on a karate regimen after I watched Karate Kid. I was doing 50 kicks and 50 punches and push-ups.
I was studying the
I told my
train
dad
kick.
karate's a way of life when I was about 9. Wax on, wax off. How big of a crush did you have on Elizabeth Shue, though?
Who?
Rocky's girlfriend.
Well, the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were just like, man, that chick's hot.
Yeah.
She really fucked him over, though, right? She got his car crashed.
Oh, she was a bad girl, man. All bad. Daniel LaRusso was a dick, though. Karate Kid was a dick. When you really look back at it, he caused all the problems.
Now But you didn't see it then. But back then, you realized he was a big fucking baby. He like moved in on the other guy's
If
girl.
Daniel LaRusso was your friend, you'd think he was a bitch, right?
Yeah, he's always trying.
You'd be like, you're a punk-ass
bitch. Back to
bitch.
Fresno, or was it Bakersfield, or
Like Pomona or
I
some
hate
shit.
it here. I just want to go back.
Oh, I just want to go back. What a little fucking pussy. He was a bitch, dude.
Real whiny.
Whiny.
Bad temper.
Bad-tempered. Kind of soft, too. Like,
Yeah, well, like, he's trying to fight these guys that would kick his ass. Like, he was way out of his league, and he, like, whines about when he gets beat up.
yeah, a great movie, though. Chicago made this. The soundtrack, Matt. How many times have you been at Michael's Pizza and heard Chicago come on? Right?
Song is huge.
It's huge.
Every time you hear that song, you think about the Karate
Oh,
Kid.
my God. Can you think about anything else?
No, that's it. But if you were around back then, it was like, I think Adam Carolla explained it best. There was nothing really going on back then at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it came out. And
You
it
sound like you're getting
captivated
sick, man. Are you feeling okay?
I'm good. And like when there's certain things I do, they get me nasally.
They make you nasal.
Yeah.
You're a real nasal bastard, huh? You're right, dude. It was a big time. Well, let me tell you this. I've become such a big believer in Adam Carolla, which is crazy because I never...
What's his take on all this shit then?
Well, at first he kind of downplayed it. He said it's impossible for him to get sick because he eats off the street and he doesn't care. He doesn't take showers.
Well, I haven't been sick in a long time.
I know. I was thinking about you. I was like, I don't know if Matt should come over. Then I thought, Matt never gets anything.
You know, it's
dude.
funny. I was thinking about it. I was trying to think, when is the last time I got so sick?
I'm the one you need to be afraid of,
You're
dude.
sick a lot.
Dude, right?
But like, I was just thinking, it's been so.
Well, when's the last time I died? Ask yourself that.
That's true.
All right.
But you seem to get really sick. You seem to get super sick when you get sick.
There's some shit going around.
You get it, and
I'm
you're
gonna
like
get
in
it.
bed for like the last time I was actually in bed
Was because you watched porn all day
because I
and you
was
were
sick.
jerking
Because
it.
I was sick. I can't even remember being.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I'd actually.
You ate World War II rations from underneath my mom's carport. Dude, let me tell this. Not only you were high on blow the whole fucking time we were supposed to be doing yard work, man. You said, before we do yard work, I'm going to do this. And you pulled out cocaine. And I was like, oh, shit, he has cocaine. Brazen. If my parents knew you had cocaine in the house, dude, you had cocaine in the house.
Yeah.
How did you get cocaine?
I don't. Man, I knew someone that knew someone. But you're talking about
This is
when
the
you were
90s.
a child and your old man was a
1993.
pastor. Your old man was a pastor of a church.
And you had cocaine in the house.
Snuck cocaine in.
On my bunk bed. You were snorting a rail of cocaine on a rail. On the rail of my bunk bed.
At that time, it doesn't sound like that big of a deal to most people, but at that time in your life, you had never seen cocaine ever.
I just
and you
remember,
look up
like,
and you see your older cousin doing coke off your fucking bed.
because, like, we smoked some grass, but, like, I don't remember ever doing
Probably you were probably pretty impressed at that moment, though, right?
I thought you were pretty much the toughest person I knew. And I would think, well, if anything happens, I know Matt. And then I would think this. And if Matt can't handle it, I know Super Cuz.
Yeah.
Well, he was just Rob Dog back then.
So you wouldn't even do coke back then, though, right? We should probably never have.
I've never done coke my whole life. Never touched it.
Me neither.
I wouldn't touch it. I'm afraid my heart will stop. I'm the kind of guy that can't enjoy it. I'll be like, it's beating too fast, right?
My heart's beating. Can you feel my heart right
Hey,
now?
look, man, I'm already a little bit of like, ugh. Can you imagine if I was on coke, how big of an asshole I'd be about shit?
You're wound up super tight.
Super tight, dude. There's no way.
Like, weed's a way better choice for you.
Yeah, I'm not even attracted to those kind of drugs.
You're already like, you're already like a person that's on coke. When you're not even
I'm already on
coke.
coke. I know. It's like going. I get up so early, I can't sleep.
You can't fucking relax, man.
I gotta move. I gotta hustle. I gotta shake. I gotta do shit.
You're never relaxed.
I'm on the go, man. Time is money and money is time.
You're always busy.
Except I don't have money.
It's always something you think you have to do right now. And you're like, on some sort of fucking schedule.
Self-imposed.
Like, when was the last? When all this fucking shit blows over, you got to go. It's karaoke night with me, Super Cuz,
I don't have
and
any
Sam.
songs. I don't have any songs geared up for karaoke.
I showed up there randomly for a karaoke night.
And they were there?
Yeah, I was with a particular special person at the moment. I didn't know they were going to be there. And all of a sudden, Sam, my cousin Sam comes walking in. I wasn't expecting him to be there. And
Tugboat? You mean Tugboat?
Super Cuz was there. And when I saw Sam, I started screaming cousin really loud. And I ran and I jumped on him and started wrestling with him in the bar.
Did you get kicked out?
Nah.
Sam likes to go to the bar a lot.
He was pretty inebriated. He was drunk, and he sang some rock song, man. He rocked it pretty good.
Sam's got a whole nother taste and interest in things that I don't get, dude.
Rocked the house with some rock song, and
I really like Sam though. I still text him randomly about church stuff like that.
Church stuff.
Man, the last time I had a real bad hangover was when I went out with Sam. To be honest with you. That's the last time I've been hungover was with Sam.
Man, he can fucking drink, bro.
Oh, my God. He drinks so much, you lose track of what you're drinking.
He's a pro drinker.
Yeah,
you can't even
I'm impressed.
That. When it comes to drinking, this motherfucker can put away like a lot of booze and just walk out on his own 2 feet.
He's a Newman, huh? Like hardcore.
He's a bad motherfucker, man.
I like Sam.
It's like, but I'm just saying, I'm at the bar partying, very good friend, and Sam's there, my cousin.
Sam.
He's like fucking a giant. This guy can stomp anybody's head. And then there's my other cousin who's another giant. You can do whatever when you got your 2 cousins that are both pushing 300
How
pounds.
tall is Sam?
Like 6 foot. He's got to be 300.
He's taller than I am.
Taller than you, 300 pounds.
He's like 6'2" or 6'1".
When you have your 2 cousins.
He's 300 pounds.
And plus we're all drinking whiskey. We feel like we could fight the whole bar.
He's 300 pounds.
Well, I don't know. He's big. I'm just saying. I might be putting.
How tall is Super Cuz? He's tall too.
He's a big dude too.
How do you feel being the shortest out of all of us?
I feel fine.
Is that why you lift so many heavy weights?
Gotta compensate for it somewhere. Dude, the last time 2 weeks ago, I went to that bar I'm talking about, and there was these girls fighting afterwards after the bar. It was so entertaining, bro.
What were they fighting
so entertaining about? I don't know because by the time I got outside, the whole thing was surrounded by people, and it was like basically it was surrounded by mostly blacks, right? Mostly black people. It's a mostly black bar.
Okay.
A lot of blacks in the bar, but whatever, man. I'm cool with everybody. But they're fighting. Well, it was a black crowd, I should say. They're fighting. These 2 girls are fighting, but the crowd, it regulated the fight. So the crowd was like, if you want to fight. No, like, okay, you can fight. Nobody jumps in. And when we say stop fighting, you have to stop fighting. Like,
what is this? Like,
I swear to God, bro.
Are these Lottie Grunsky rules?
Man, there were the rules were getting applied, and they weren't letting people jump in. And when the one girl had enough, they grabbed her and they pulled her off. So it was almost like regulated by the crowd. And so I really wanted to bust my fucking recorder up. I'm the only white cracker in that fucking crowd. So I'm like, man, if I'm the only cracker in this motherfucking crowd and I bust out a fucking phone, someone's going to be like, might have some trouble with me fucking doing this.
Is that a thing now? Like,
I don't know.
You got to be careful what race you're around when you take your phone out.
I'm just saying, if you're recording fights and you're the only white boy there recording it, it's
World Star. Did you say that?
I waited for somebody else to do it first, and then as soon as I saw the first phone go up, then my phone was up. Like, this is so fucking entertaining. There was a pregnant girl in the crowd.
Oh, wow. She was fighting?
No. She was talking a lot of shit, though. But and it was almost like she knew because she was pregnant that she could mouth off the most, and there'd be no
repercussion.
Who's gonna fucking fight?
I'm pregnant. Did she rub her stomach a bunch of times? How many times have you seen a pregnant woman rub her tummy? I'm pregnant.
She did rub it too. She was like, yeah, she's rubbing her tummy while she's talking shit. And some girls fought, and then like there was in all the girls fighting, there was one girl that kind of knew how to fight. She threw some hard shots at people, and and the rest of them didn't. And then the one girl started socking up the guy.
Keep telling the story.
The girl starts socking up the guy, and he's like, he's taking these shots pretty good. Everyone else is getting mad at him, and then he's like saying, well, I'm not going to hit you back. And like everyone's got their cameras out. He never hits them back, and that's when like the pregnant girl comes out, and she's talking the utmost shit. She's challenging everybody. Like, everybody in the crowd, like all the other girls that were talking shit. She's talking shit to all of them, and then every time they want to fight her, she like fucking like starts rubbing her stomach, and she starts saying that she's pregnant. So she's got this whole hostile crowd like talking shit and pissed off, and like nobody there would ever fucking it had to be like it wasn't your typical Stockton crowd, because there had to be like some humane people here, because nobody would fight the pregnant girl. Nobody did shit to her, but she was talking the most mad shit. There's a bunch of other fights, and it's all girls fighting. It's all regulated almost fights where people are watching the fight. They're not letting nobody else jump in, and like they're stopping the fight when someone's getting fucked up. So I'm just like, man, this is some real fucking entertainment right now. And for like about 10, 15 minutes, there were fights, and I was like watching these crowd-regulated fights. And then the cops show up, and they spoil all the fun, and they shut it all down.
It sounds like a every which way, but
it was legit. I felt pretty safe in this particular crowd. There was a bunch of people, but everyone was like, if you guys are going to fight, it's going to be you and you. No one else is jumping in. And then if she said, like, when the girls like couldn't fight, they were like, hey, stop, she can't fight no more. And they break the fight up. There was like 3 or 4 girl fights, but it was all. And this one girl fought like 3 times, and she won all the fights. Damn. And she knew how to throw a fucking punch. Like, she was like packing dynamite in her punches, and nobody else was.
You think so?
Yeah, you could tell a lot of the girls that were fighting, they were like pulling hair and like some of these like, fucking really soft ass punches. And this one bitch.
You've completely devolved.
This one bitch was throwing bombs.
How? You know what? Like, how many times in your life have you been somewhere when a fight broke out and you're like in a regular place?
Times.
Do you remember that time when we were kids and we were teens and we went to that church meeting up in Oregon and we drove all the way up there and we went out to eat at Alliance and a fight broke out at the restaurant?
Oh, yeah. And the tables got broken shit.
That guy's fucking head got slammed into a table so hard he broke a restaurant table. Do you know how thick restaurant tables are, dude?
Yeah, you don't see too many. I hadn't seen... Actually, no one I think about it.
I haven't seen a restaurant fight
I had
ever.
never seen that's the only brawl I ever saw inside of a restaurant where tables were
inside of a lion.
It was like a fucking movie where these dudes start fighting and more than one person gets involved in this fight, and then tables and things are breaking and getting busted.
I remember Okay, so the guy was drunk and he was at another table and he got up and he was kind of walking around being belligerent, like talking and getting a little odd acting, and people were kind of like a little edgy, like. And there was this one table where you could tell this guy was like, if this fucking dude comes over here, I'm gonna fuck him up, right? He kind of had like that attitude, and the guy went over there and took a French fry off of his plate and he ate it. And when he took the fry, the guy looked at him like, you have a fucking problem? And the drunk guy threw a punch at him, and then it was on, dude. I just remember that drunk guy's head, dude. He had a hematoma. It was so fucking huge.
All the tables got busted.
The cops came. They took my phone number down, so they might be calling me.
Someone pulled a knife on me there, too, at the same place.
Really?
Yeah. Like, and it's funny because that was the first time. Well, not that night, but like one of the times in that area, someone had pulled a knife on me. They asked me who I was, and I gave them my name, and they were like in a car, and they were like, "Who are you?" And I was with another church. We were 2 church kids, We were like, had a Bible.
What happened?
Tell me
the story. I had never heard the story.
Bible in my hand, and we're gonna go to the church meeting, and we're dressed really nice. And the car but we're teenagers, this car stops, and it was like 2 younger people in the car. I mean, old enough to be driving, but younger people. And they're like, "Who are you?" And then I said who I was, and then they're like, "We don't like you." And then we're like, "Why?" And he's like, "Where are you from?" And I'm like, "I'm from California." He's like, "We don't like people from California."
Are you serious?
Yeah. And then he pulls out this big ass.
He said, "We don't like people from California."
Yeah, he pulls out this big ass fucking knife.
What did you think?
I was like, "Holy shit, that's a fucking knife!" I was hella scared. My heart started beating hella fast.
Where were you at?
I was like across the street from the church.
At the Plaid Pantry?
One of those hotels get right across the street.
Oh, the hotel.
Yeah, he was showing us the knife.
The Buttercup Pantry.
And
the Buttercup Hotel
like,
or some shit
like
that.
He was like, so he shows me the knife and he points it at me and he's like, it's like he goes, "Just say you're scared and I won't cut you." And I'm like, okay, I'm scared. I'm like,
What an
I was
asshole.
hell scared. He had a fucking. I'd never seen a knife. Like, I never had been threatened with a knife that was that big.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'm scared, motherfucker. Like,
He said we don't like people from
he's
California.
like, all right, fuck around here. And then, like, they just drove off.
What do they think you were, guys? Like, who were
I
you
don't know,
with?
man. I was with his preacher's kid named Mike Straight.
Mike Stright's the kid that was jumping us when we were on skateboards.
Yeah, like, and you know what's funny? There was another. I trying to remember. I think her name might have. I think it was Amy. And I might even be wrong. I think it was Amy. So like we grew up in like this really pocket church that nobody else knows about. But if you understand any like holy Pentecostal holiness type people, but in a little small group amongst that, a little small sect. Anyways, not a lot of people ever went to this church and know anything about it. One day I'm with Phil Barodi in that bare knuckle fight. I'm trying to fucking remember now which fucking state we were in. Wyoming. So I'm in Wyoming, right, with Phil for that bare knuckle fight against Chris Lehman, and I'm at the hotel, and somebody, I don't even remember if I told you about this or not, but somebody that went to the same church that we went to was at the hotel that night.
What?
Yeah, I think you were told you about this so much.
Did they actually, were they active members of the church at the time?
When we were kids, one of the girls.
But they weren't anymore.
I think so. I think they still kind of like showed up. They seem to be like semi into
Like
the
50-50.
50-50.
Like they're going back now. Like
Yeah,
during
but
9/11, coronavirus.
And they're
they're
like, yeah, I know. We kind of go, but yeah, we know these people are crazy too. Like, you guys know they're crazy, but yeah, it's all right.
That's crazy.
So, anyway, I think it was.
Just tell me the first name.
I think it was Amy, but I'm not sure now.
From Montana.
From Montana, so I'm there.
What?
So when I show up to this bare
That's
knuckle thing,
wild.
when I show up to this bare knuckle, there was like when I first got there, it was like pause room. There's a bunch of people, and there's a bunch of chicks. Everybody's partying, like just partying hard, right? And like the drinks, the booze were free, and the party was free. So I start partying.
It's like
hard.
Metamoris 1. The after
Partying
party.
hard too, man. I'm like fucking in the mix partying, and then I see this person that I think I recognize, and I realize that I realize I recognize this person is like a teen. I knew when they were
From some
when
other
I was
total
a
part of your
teenager,
life.
when I went to this really strict style Pentecostal holiness church where like they had these little church meetings, and once in a while all these church kids would show up, and I'm like, well, this is bizarre because what are the chances of like being in the same hotel in a random state?
Been a long time.
I guess her husband was there. Her husband was there like on work for some reason, and she was there. And I'm just, dude, I'm fucking drunk, bro. Like I'm drunk.
Did you talk to her?
Yeah, man. I was talking to her and her husband. I'm fucking wasted.
Did she remembered who you were?
Yeah, she remembered.
Wow.
She fucking remembered, and then I'm totally pretty fucking hammered, man. I don't remember exactly even what I was saying. I was so drunk. I was so wasted. I don't even remember all the conversation. Like I remember we talked for a long time. I was talking to her.
So like
her husband.
I rarely go out in public and get it like intoxicated. That's unless it's an accident. But do you ever have that moment when you're talking to somebody and you realize based on the person's reaction that you're drunk?
Yeah.
Because they're looking at you like, what?
Yeah.
I had a moment.
And then you realize that you're really slurring your speech and you've been repeating yourself over and over and you're not making good sense anymore.
Yeah, you're like, ah, shit.
That's the worst like person to talk to. Like someone that you know normally from another place in life, like work or somewhere, and you see them in a bar, and they get really drunk. They're really, 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 really drunk, and they're talking to you. They're all up in your face, and they keep talking and talking
weird.
and talking and talking and talking and telling you the same shit over and over.
He made the
and
mistake
over and
of
over.
going full contact. Yeah, you're right.
Bro. Another thing I wanted to tell you. This is we haven't even talked that much, but I know you got your schools fucking you're not doing your school right now. That's got to be fucking like
It's closed.
Yeah, it's like
I closed it.
you closed it
ahead
and
of
then,
time to help the community.
and then like
The community.
I closed the 209 Pro Wrestling Academy
For the community.
I just did it because fuck everyone else is doing it, so fuck me. I don't know. I might
You
as well
have to do it now.
I did a little bit before that, but I just felt like it was inevitable. You may as well just fucking close it down now.
Yeah.
But before that had happened,
You don't want to be a follower in something like this. You don't want to be. You want to be the first in your town to go like, "Hey, we're gonna do this."
it was pretty weird because we weren't really taking it that serious. Like nobody was really taking it. I remember like our coach Vinny Massaro was taking it a little bit serious before anybody else was.
Because he's Italian,
He's
right?
Italian, you know.
So he's like,
Italians are always up on
it's
like
back in the motherland.
some fucking, you know, some shit that might happen that's gonna be fucked up. They're the first people that like be up on it. Usually,
I made some.
better watch out for that shit.
Yeah,
but then like you know, he was the first guy that wasn't shaking hands. And he was kind of staying like back away
like
from
fist
people,
bumping people or what?
a little bit, like not fist bump, but like was like, yeah, you know, let's just stay over there.
Like back in
And he was
December.
like, no, but he was like, I don't want to fucking get quarantined. He didn't. I don't think he realized it was going to be like this, but he did realize if you had it, you were going to get quarantined. And he was pretty flipped about not wanting to get quarantined. So he was like, hey, motherfuckers, I ain't trying to get quarantined. Just fucking stay back.
What is this fear of being quarantined? Just out of curiosity.
I think because you're just stuck and you can't fucking go anywhere.
Italians have a real big fear of being held down, not being able, claustrophobic, being stuck, being trapped. How claustrophobic was our grandmother, our full-blooded Italian grandmother?
Very,
very. How afraid of water was she?
Afraid of a lot of things.
She wouldn't even get into a kiddie swimming pool, man.
Very fearful, or just very paranoid, I should say.
She had a big impact on her life, though.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for her, look, let's be honest. If it wasn't for Grandpa and Grandma Newman, we would have basically all been destitute. Like, we would have been destitute, dude.
It's like everybody else is fucking up. Your parents are semi-fucking up. They're trying to be nice right now because I'm a parent now, too. And, like, I know what it's like to fuck up. And I'm like, but everybody was kind of fucking up back then. Like, you know.
Let's just be real. We would have all been destitute, right?
We'd had big problems.
We would have been homeless, Matt.
Yeah.
All my family and your family would have been hungry and homeless if it wasn't for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%, dude. That's why when sometimes, you know, people would get upset at Grandpa because our grandfather was such a renegade. Like he would go to the same church we would do, and he would get up and talk and like really grind people's gears.
Like vehemently, like he was this redneck that would vehemently oppose, like
whatever you were doing, he was doing the opposite.
Whatever the motherfuckers that were the important people were saying that everybody should do in the church, like we should all, whatever it was, man.
He was doing the opposite.
The guy that would say, no, we shouldn't do that.
So he would really grind people's gears. But you know, man, he had a good job. He never missed work. He was a hard-ass worker, man. He took care of his family. He was like a real American dude.
He had those like fucking Cambodian girlfriends at the donut shop.
He'd go down there and flirt with them. He'd bring him catfish.
He would literally talk about how it was probably true. He's like all these. He would say all these Cambodian women that work at the donut shop that he goes to every single fucking day. That whatever my grandmother, his wife, would bitch about, whatever that she was bitching about, he would proclaim that all those Cambodian women at New York Donut would love to switch with you right now.
You would say that too.
That was his number one fucking.
You know what? Those fucking assholes at New York Donuts ratted us out when we snuck it down to Redwood Market. We were kids. They saw us sneak into Redwood Market at like 3:30 in the morning, and they ratted on us, man.
It's like
out of everyone you would expect to get ratted on.
I know,
you
man.
expect
I thought
that.
I had a foolproof plan. I had these bums that were buying me booze.
Let me just tell the story. So Matt's mom and his stepdad lived on Pilgrim. And Matt had somehow talked his way into getting this bedroom that was like an add-on sunroom. It was kind of a weird room, but it had a separate entrance that could go outside.
It was a super small room, actually. This room used to be
small.
A porch. Used to be on a big porch.
Right.
And someone just built a little tiny wall and made it like a little tiny office.
Yeah, it was very small.
I talked my mother to let me have this be my bedroom because it had a door that would go to the outside. So like you could literally close your bedroom door, lock it, and then go out this other door and leave.
And you had one of those locks where it was like a hook lock at the top, an OG hook lock, you know, where you just lock it. And I remember this particular day, we were at my grandma's house, who lived about a quarter of a mile away. And my crazy Uncle Bobby was telling some crazy story about a liquor store around the corner. And he said, don't go to Redwood Market because they sell beer to minors. And I distinctly remember that night, Matt and I said, like, we're walking to Redwood Market tonight when my mom goes to work because your mom worked graveyard.
Because we knew that we could probably get booze there.
And motherfucking Matt had a waterbed. You remember you had a waterbed back then, dude?
Yeah.
You had a waterbed. And so I was sleeping on the floor, and you were on the waterbed, and I kept making noise because I didn't want you to go to sleep because I wanted to get up and walk down to Redwood Market and get some beer. And I kept making noise, and eventually at about midnight, after your mom had left, you were like, okay, you keep making noise. Let's go down there. So we got a kitchen knife.
At that point, like, you had never, I don't think you'd ever drank before.
Never.
I had drank before, and I was like, like, it's like, this is Stockton. It's kind of late. I don't really feel like sneaking out and running through the streets of Stockton tonight.
How old were you? 16?
16 or 17, and you're like
13.
12, 13.
I was 13.
And you're like, you really want booze. And I'm like, I just want to go to bed. So you kept on waking me up so I couldn't sleep. And then so finally, once I realized that I'm not going to be able to sleep, I was like, fuck it. Let's go fucking do the damn thing. So we walk over to Redwood Market. And like, you're walking around Stockton really late. And it's not the greatest.
We were walking down those alleys.
Cops out questioning us, and we get to Redwood Market.
How many times did we get stopped by the cops?
I don't know, a lot.
A few
We
times.
always
Huh?
had. I don't know.
We always had some crazy story where they let us go.
While we were out and what happened.
What we were doing,
Yeah,
where we were going.
I don't know how anyone ever believed that he. I'm like,
We had
any
no
story.
business being out there, dude.
I don't know, but
We walked down there.
we walked over there, and then so I'd never been to this market. I've been drunk before, but I'd never gone to a liquor store and actually bought booze myself. I'd have like my older cousin.
I was confident that you could do it. I believed that you had gone into stores previously and bought beer. That's what I had thought.
Man, I was pretty young. How old was I? 15?
You were
16? 16? I didn't look like I was like, this.
No.
In my mind, I thought when I was 16.
You thought you were ready to take on the world.
When I was 18, I thought I could beat everybody up. When I was 16, I thought maybe I could someday. When I was 18, I thought that I could beat up most of the people in the world.
There was no one who could whoop you.
I didn't think there was anybody that I knew that would be able to whoop me in a fight.
Yeah.
That's how confident I was at
Right.
18. But I think I was 16 then, so I was pretty confident. But I didn't have that level of cockiness yet. Just like
Right.
But some pretty overconfident though. Like, and a lot of overconfidence already developing.
Yes.
Like all these abilities that I thought I had.
So we go down there, and I remember I took a big, long kitchen knife from your mom's steak drawer because I thought, well, you never know, I might have to cut somebody. And I put it inside. I took your brother's Golden State Warriors starter jacket, the OG kind, like the satin style ones. I put it on, and I put the kitchen knife inside the jacket in case I had to pull it off. And so we walked down
this
there.
is Stockton. You wouldn't feel safe late at night going out in these particular neighborhoods if you'd have some sort of weapon on you.
Absolutely not, right? So we walked down there.
But would you have known how to use it? Probably not.
Obviously, I didn't.
Probably not.
I got a gun taken away
But you
from me.
still had it nonetheless.
So we go down there, and you go inside, and you tell me, you go wait over there. And so I waited outside. And meanwhile, these fucking Cambodian dudes are showing up for work at the goddamn donut shop that my grandpa goes to every morning to flirt with the Cambodian girls. And they recognize us
They
from when
see
we
us
were
at Redwood
kids.
Market buying booze.
And they tell our grandpa. Can you imagine that? God damn it. So you go in there.
I walk in there, and there's two guys. The guy that owned the store, which is a real shady-looking motherfucker.
Named Henry Martinez.
And then there was a brother. He was almost Haitian or something. He was another real shady-looking motherfucker.
God damn, we were kids, dude.
He's playing a video game, and I walk in there, and his man just died.
On the
and
game.
He screamed, fuck, and he punched the machine.
And
but
I
he
heard that from the
screamed, fuck, as
outside.
loud as he could. He punched the machine as hard as he could. He turned around, I'm standing there, and like, he's looking at me, and like, and it's like, I'm looking at him, and I'm like, I don't know what.
It's like a stare down.
Staring down, I'm like, I'm almost bitching out, getting nervous right about now. And I'm like, oh, I tell the guy, should I even try it? And he's like, what? What the fuck do you want?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you guys got any booze? And he looks at the fucking guy that was outside, the real bummy looking, dark fucking Haitian looking motherfucker, Amos. The guy's name was Amos. And he's
we
like,
still remember Amos.
And he goes, ask him. And so I'm like, and he tells me to walk in there and point to whatever
it is you want.
it is that I want.
What did you point to?
I can't remember what it was.
Oh, I remember.
Something cheap.
It was fucking Meisterbrow.
Oh, yeah, something super cheap.
And you had rolled up coins to pay for it.
Yeah.
We had no shame.
So we got whatever. He
walked us into the alley next door to the dirty
alley,
bookstore.
Right by Bachelor Books.
What would you do if Lucas was down there at 13?
I'd be so mad.
How mad would you be?
Like him was in that particular seedy spot.
In that particular spot in Stockton. Not
really
that he had beer, but that he was in that location, right in an alley with a bum named Amos at 2 a.m. But we got the booze. We walked back, and I drank half a beer, and I was fucking
what I remember is we were
wasted.
drinking Keystone. No, I think you were wrong because we were just drinking Keystones.
Oh, we got Keystones. You're right, man.
And you had about three. You had about 3 Keystones.
I did.
However, you were 12, 13 years old, and you had never drank before in your life.
Yeah.
So you were pretty fucking wasted.
Yeah.
And I wasn't that wasted. So like I was really annoyed at your antics that night.
Oh,
you were like out of control. I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, yeah.
And so we walked.
You're right.
We walked really far, and you're wasted. So we ended up walking all the way to where our other cousin was.
Yeah.
He was like fucking selling drugs at that time. So like he was not impressed with how stupid drunk you were acting because
it was like
very annoying too.
It's the first time I've ever been drunk.
Yeah, we're like been drunk a lot. You're acting like an idiot. We're like, oh my, just tell this guy to shut up, and you're like, you're just it's just acting like a typical idiot that's never been drunk before.
Yeah.
Who shut their fucking mouth.
Right.
Eventually, we got back to the place, but I think
that's right. I forgot about that.
The kicker, though, you brought this up a little bit earlier, was like the whole gun incident.
Yeah, the gun story.
Like,
the gun story.
I love this. I
What
look
are we
back
doing
and it's
with a
so crazy,
gun, man?
So
Why did we have
I did not. First of all, I didn't need a gun, but I had my cousin, which people know him as Super Cuz, he was a gangster, and I really wasn't nothing like that, and we were like, I was really impressed with what I thought gangsters were, though, how they and so I had this idea that back then that I wanted to get a gun
and go where
and rob.
In what city?
Rob banks.
In Old Sacramento.
ATMs.
That was the idea that we had. We said we would travel out of town and rob women of their purses in Old Sacramento.
Oh, my God. I can't believe you just said that on the fucking air.
That's what we were going to do.
I had a plan to take a gun and rob women of their purses.
This is what we thought we were going to do, man.
It sounded like a solid plan at the time.
At the time.
And then I thought, fuck it. If we're going to do that, we might as well start robbing people at ATMs and have them taking all their money out of the machine.
You might as well.
So I started robbing all. I was thinking, I'm going to have this gun. We can rob all kinds of people.
You took the gun to church,
So
dude.
I hadn't robbed anybody yet, but I had the gun, and I'm getting the bullets, and I'm like...
How many places did you take the gun?
I was taking it everywhere I went, like to school, and but the thing of it is, I went to a very strict Southern Baptist Christian school.
And you took the gun
there
out.
was nobody in the school that knew anything about gangs or guns or anything. So I was bringing weed to school and selling it, and I was bringing a gun.
You were the kid that the other parents were worried about.
And but I wasn't I was no tough guy in real life,
right.
but in a school with a bunch of fucking dorky Southern Baptist weirdos.
This was the height of your toughness at that school.
I could beat everybody up in the school. I had a gun and I had weed.
You stole a kid's starter
jacket.
You gave it to me, and I wore it to the school.
I would go to school and
just
take things from people. I would take jackets. I would take watches. I would take lunch. I would take food.
Yeah.
Whenever I wanted, I would just take it.
So
stockpile.
So I remember being in the bathroom at church, and you pulled the gun out, and you said, "Look at this." You showed it to me, and I was like, "Whoa, you got a gun, dude!"
It sounds so crazy now, so horrible, but we're all passing the gun around, playing with it.
What?
Like it's a toy. I'm at school, or we're in a church service, and there's someone up talking about the mercies of God, and I pass you the gun, and while nobody's looking, you start twirling it around. Like it's a fucking real gun.
We shouldn't even laugh, but it's so
Then we're talking
funny.
about like the three, our little group. Like, okay, we got a gun. We have a gun now, and like, what are we gonna do with this? I was kind of leader of this little group, the biggest idiot.
What are
amongst
we gonna do
everybody.
with this gun?
Like, well, okay, eventually we're gonna start robbing people, ATMs, purses, like maybe stores later, maybe maybe fast food restaurants,
We'll
like
get a few guns.
KFC.
We'll get more than one.
Like KFC, McDonald's. We're gonna make a lot of money this summer. So like, and the worst part about it is like this particular gun, thank God, it got taken away. But like that, when I say that was the plan, it really was the plan.
I
Like,
know.
it was the plan of the fucking summer. We got the gun. We're gonna fucking rob people and make a lot of money this summer.
It's gonna be our summer, man.
So
It was going to be the summer that we were not going to be broke. We were going to go get ours, dude. We were going to make some coin, man.
I even had some friends from school that borrowed the gun.
Oh, my
And like
gosh.
some other guys too that were like, I don't know what they were. They claimed to be Crips or whatever. I knew they knew some bad people. They had I could buy some drugs off them or some shit. So I knew they had to know somebody because they had drugs. But a couple of those guys borrowed my gun or whatever the fuck they did with it.
You would loan your gun.
Just load my gun out. He brings me back and gives me some weed, like a little bit of weed. Some of these guys would give me some weed so they could borrow my gun.
So
eventually, we're all partying one particular night. And one thing leads to another, and you, for reasons we don't even need to bring up on the podcast, we're fighting with my cousin, and whatever happened, you ran off with a gun scared.
yeah.
Ran off with a gun scared, and so you really only had to walk about a mile. I think about a mile.
A quarter of a mile.
Quarter mile. You had a quarter mile.
Not that far.
So you had 1/4 mile. You had to-
2 in the morning, a Saturday night or Friday night. One of those
one or the
nights.
other. Stockton.
Stockton.
But here's the kicker: you had never been by yourself.
No.
You always been with me.
How
or
old
somebody
was
else.
I?
13.
Okay.
So, but I'm just saying. So you had never had to walk this area by yourself. But
How-
all you
but,
had.
Hey, let's just talk though. How sketch was the area though?
I've walked. I'm just saying it was sketch, but I walked it many times by myself.
It was sketch though, right?
It was sketch.
Right?
It was sketch. So you're walking this sketch 1/4 mile by yourself, and I'm really thinking, because you took off, and he's got the gun. We were all fighting. We were all arguing about shit. So thank God that we're all drunk and fighting.
First of all, I went to get help from our crazy uncle who denied
I
me
forgot
a
about
ride
that.
home.
You asked for a ride for somebody.
I
They
said,
told
I'm
you
going to
no.
jam. Can you please give me a ride home? And he said, you smell like you've been drinking. And he had 2 DUIs from a long time ago that he was paranoid about. And he said, nope, I'm not giving you a ride.
So you couldn't get a ride from a crazy uncle that was paranoid, so you ended up walking.
I should have just sat down on the porch and chilled.
I just figured that you made it because it's like you only had 2 blocks, right?
No, I had longer than that.
What'd you have? A half a mile, 1/4 mile,
Quarter mile.
1/4 mile. I figured for sure you made it. We're good. No more drama. And then all of a sudden you come back and you say you got the gun taken away. And I'm like, no way.
Well, let me tell you though, man. So I'm walking down Hiawatha, all right, and there's a car that pulls up, and it's late. It's like 2 in the morning, and a lady gets out, and I think, oh, it's a lady. She's probably like, I'm a kid. I'm thinking in my mind, I'm 13. She'll probably trust me. So I go up there and I go, hey, I'm in trouble. I need help. My cousin was going to kill himself, and I took the gun from him. Can you just give me a ride home? And she goes, wait right here. And she goes inside, and then some dude comes out, and he flashes a badge at me. And he goes, I'm an officer of the peace. Give me that gun give me the gun. And so I give it to him, and he takes it from me, and he unloads it. And he says, I'm going to give you like 5 minutes to get the fuck out of here, and then I'm calling the cops. And so I'm like, oh, shit. And I left, but he flashed a badge at me, man.
This guy does you a solid too, and like even gives you.
He gave me a head start to get home.
But still, you didn't go back to home. You went back to. You were too scared to still go the other part of the journey.
I told you. I went back to tell you guys what happened.
But the fun. This is the part that you were at a halfway mark. You could have just said "fuck it," went all the way.
I could have went.
But you came back.
I wanted to tell you what happened.
You come back and you say you got the gun taken away. At first, I didn't believe you because I had so many. I just thought that summer we were gonna make a lot of money.
Yeah.
With this gun, like, and you took. I saw my dream for that summer
Down the tube.
Go down the tube. So you
Right.
got the gun taken. I just first I didn't believe it. I was like, oh my God. He got it. So then my other cousin says, we're going to go get the gun back.
We're going to go get the
And
gun.
I'm like, we are? He's like, yeah, we are.
And now you're being tested, right?
So I got to go with him to get the gun back. And I'm thinking, well, I know for a fact the person who took the gun
Has it.
has a gun.
Yeah, right.
He may have another gun, but he has that gun.
Yeah.
And we have no gun.
Right.
And we're going over here to get the gun back. And I'm like, I feel like, well, I can't bitch out.
Right.
I can't be a bitch. I can't tell him I'm scared. I got to go.
I walked with you over there.
So if I don't go get the gun back, I'm a bitch. And I can't be a bitch. So I'm like, all right, let's go get the gun back. So we walk over, knock on the door. The guy answers the door, and he tells him he wants the gun back. And you know, we had a conversation. He was like, look, my cousin's all freaked out. It's my gun. He flipped out, took off running with it. And I don't know what the fuck he told you, but we're good over here, and we want the fucking gun back.
Mm-hmm.
The guy says he's, like, took it because you were scared. He's like, well, give it back now. We're going to have trouble. The guy said he was some sort of peace officer. He goes, well, get me some ID right now. We're going to have big trouble. So the guy closed the door. He goes, I'll be right out. And that's when I realized they were calling the cops. And then he realized they were calling the cops, so we left.
We ran.
We left, and then on the way back home, around the other way, cops stopped us.
Well, we ran back to Regal, and we asked Daddy Bob once more to give us a ride home.
He said no.
And he said, absolutely not. And we said, we're in a real jam here, man. Like,
Cops are looking for us.
cops are looking for
Desperately
us.
need a ride
We're
home.
pretty sure we're not going to make it back
Nope.
home. So we thought, okay. And we were pretty good at taking those alleys, and we kind of knew we'd been stopped by the cops a bunch of times walking back and forth. So we were pretty confident. So we set off, and we were walking down that side street by Lottie Grunsky. I don't remember what that street was. It's real dark, and a fucking cruiser rolled up on us, and it was a woman cop. I remember that specifically. And she asked us our names. And you said your name was Randy, which was your friend's name, which is real fucked up because now he's stuck trying to make up a name. And I don't remember what name Randy said he was. All I remember is that you pissed on Randy when he passed out in the gutter. You peed on him. Try to wake him up. Remember that?
I had a buddy that was there, and he was like
Severely asthmatic.
So he bitches out. He's the only guy passed out in the group of the drinkers.
He was severely
so I'm
asthmatic.
like, you know, we got to go, man. The cops are coming. He wouldn't get up. And for some reason, I just didn't take it seriously. Wasn't getting up. I'm like, dude, if you don't get up, I'm going to piss on you.
You peed on him.
I pissed on him. I mean, and I have been drinking a lot. I literally emptied my bladder on him. Like a built-up bladder.
So then we got out.
Finally, we got him up somehow. We left.
We lied to the cops, and we were wasted.
Lied to the cops. We were wasted. Convinced the cops we weren't. We were okay.
And you know what? The cops back then, they knew we were drinking, man.
They just let us go because we didn't seem like big troublemakers.
No, we were just kids.
And so the next day, the dude that I peed on is like, what happened? I'm like, bro, you got so drunk you pissed yourself.
Yeah. Wow. I was scared, man. That whole summer ruined my summer.
Well, because the gun gets taken away.
I was paranoid. I think that gave me a border. I think that's why I'm so agitated all the
You
time.
thought the cops were looking. You thought the cops were looking.
The whole
for you.
summer, man.
I was so mad that you lost the gun. You got taken away. That I told you the cops came to the house looking for you.
And you gave them my address. You said,
and you believed me. So for the longest time,
and I paid you back for the gun. I went and sold my Akeem Olajuwon rookie card.
and beyond that, you were just paranoid that.
Oh, dude. So what I did was I knocked the screen window out, and I was practicing my escape route from when the cops came. I would jump out of the window and run up that double backyard on Mission up to the railroad tracks and run down to Alpine. That was my game. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, you know, we're lucky the gun got taken away. We for sure probably would have robbed somebody.
So let me ask you this. We're change gears and just go back to this one topic.
Yeah.
What if Ferguson and Khabib fight in Russia?
Uh-huh.
How big is that?
It's
Because from what I understand, they're not having no big problem back there.
well, they do have coronavirus there.
Do they? I thought it was pretty mild.
I don't know what the numbers are. That's a huge fight. It's huge, man. Everyone wants to see it.
If they went somewhere where there's not and so they bring. I think the idea was you bring all these guys here, you test them, you vet them out, you make sure they don't have corona. Now they're over here. to begin their training camp in whatever country there's no corona. So Ferguson goes into fucking isolation. They test him and his whole crew until they know they know no one in his crew has corona. No one in McGregor's crew has corona. They go to this country.
What about having them fight in front of no audience?
What I'm saying, but that's how they can do it with an audience.
Yeah.
They go to that country. Everyone's been vetted. They know they don't have corona, and they go into training camp and they have the fight in whatever country it is where there's no corona.
Maybe. Yeah, I think they can do that.
Or they have it where there's nobody. But I like the audience.
I don't. You know why I don't like the audience? The audience is stupid. They cheer at the wrong times. They boo at the wrong.
Have you saw some of this pro wrestling, the WWE with no audience?
I like UFC with no audience. If every match is a prelim, I love it. You could hear all the coaching.
That part's cool, but like pro wrestling's horrible with no audience.
No, it's not good.
It's no good, man. It's boring. It's just way worse without the audience.
Can you hear them?
What do you mean?
Can you hear the wrestlers?
Yeah, but they're not going to say too much because they're like,
they had to let you got to be able to hear them, like everything they're saying.
Without the audience, it is
I'm
not.
going to body slam you.
Without an audience, it doesn't have the same impact.
It's only 50%.
Yeah.
The wrestler needs to be able to work the
it's
audience.
so less believable. Just even watching it without an audience oohing and awing.
It's weird, huh?
Or buying into it. Like,
you think wrestling's going to tumble because it doesn't have an audience?
Well, I think no, because they're making these restrictions too. So who knows what's like going to happen on for how they could film this, how many people could be there.
Yeah.
But AEW did a show, and they let so many other wrestlers out in the crowd.
Oh yeah.
Like, so WWE did one with nobody, I believe, film people, right? AEW, which is the competitors, they got this fucking they got this NFL money coming in, running a pro wrestling show. So they let other wrestlers, so many wrestlers on this side, which are kind of bad guys, and so many wrestlers on this side, which are with the good guy.
Mm.
There was enough people to make a certain amount of noise, and they were pretty vocal and yelling and shit.
Yeah.
It didn't sound as bad.
Like when you watch The Ultimate Fighter?
Yeah.
And they're all screaming and yelling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Versus WWE had silence. And it was, and so that much noise made a huge difference.
The UFC had a lot of yelling on it. Even the Brazilian one, like, it felt like a...
It made a difference to hear, like, some chatter going on.
Yeah.
It don't seem... Versus silence. So
yeah.
It's like Metamoris was that good, I think, silent.
Metamoris?
I remember they had no audience. It wasn't that good, right?
I was thinking... I text Alec Gracie every now and then.
Is there ever going to be another Metamoris?
I feel like he was really misunderstood, man. I don't know, man. I know I don't know if he owes people money, but I have no idea.
Now.
I don't know what
bankrupt.
I don't know what that situation is now, but
he just fucking ran out of money.
But I think that he was a big part of it, moving it forward. Obviously, EBI was huge.
He helped the idea and showed
that it could be done.
Created something and did something before a lot of other people did.
Yeah.
He got it on a pay-per-view stage. He got it in arenas, and he got jiu-jitsu matches. And he got matches that people wanted to see at the time.
That nobody was getting.
I think the rule set ended up being somewhat of a dud because you had a lot of draws.
Yeah.
You had a lot of people just really not trying to kill each other.
EBI was the rule set, right? That was the rule set people wanted to watch.
Stars were definitely created at EBI.
Yeah.
You know, like Gordon Ryan, Gary Tonin. And Gordon Ryan ended up proving to be one of the, not just the best EBI guys, but
the best
one
guy,
of the best guys in the world at jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. He's all right.
So, yeah. But it was definitely an exciting format that people that, you know, like.
I want to see some EBI grappling matches again.
I don't mind seeing that, but like, I wonder, would anybody really know who Gordon Ryan is if there wasn't an EBI? Could Metamoris have done it for him, or was competing against three guys in one night?
It had to be
submitting
EBI.
Everybody on that stage.
I think it had to be
that
EBI. I think it had to be.
Made Gordon so great.
It didn't just make Gordon so great. Famous. It made Danaher famous. It made all that whole crew famous, man. Because they won the max prize every time, 50 G's.
They were killing everybody.
The thing at Metamoris,
they were tapping everybody.
At Metamoris, you never knew who was making what. You didn't know who made what.
It's like when you see one guy making everybody else tap out.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
And because it was like in this tournament format, you saw Gordon Ryan tap out a bunch of different people winning these tournaments over and over, to where like it was just you.
Those were really awesome.
It was almost like he was invincible.
Those early day EBIs were awesome. Dude, I'm getting tired, man.
I think this thing is a wrap.
You're eating chips, crunching away. You know, this is just a sign that we're not as good as we think we are. Well, you know what, man? It's coronavirus. Nobody knows anything. I just wanted to get together with you one more time before they quarantine our asses.
Yeah, right.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to get it.
I want to get it.
I'm going to get it. I could sweat it out.
I want to get it right away and beat it.
I was thinking this. What if you could schedule it with the doctor? Just say, hey, I'm coming on Thursday at 2 o'clock. I'm going to get injected. I'll have it for 2 weeks. I'll be in quarantine.
I'll be good.
Then I'll be good.
I look at that number. I look at all the recoveries, and I think, man, if I get it, I'll probably recover.
Yeah.
So I'd rather just get it and build up the immunity right away.
Yeah. Well, thanks for
crazy,
watching. We have exactly 2 watchers right now, and it's probably not even real. So I think we're done, man. We got to get together again, though, soon. Yeah, maybe.
We got to get somebody on next time, maybe. See what they're doing for Corona.
That'll be really interesting a week from now.
Corona.
A week from now? Oops. All right.